Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is a full-stack software engineer. They did not tell me what their ratio was, which is how you can tell how good your resume is. Basically, for every 50 applications, how many interviews are you getting? If it takes you more than 50 applications to get an interview, your resume is bad. If it takes you less, your resume is good. There are caveats to that, but that's the general rule of thumb. So, what we're going to need for a full-stack software engineer entry level is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, Node.js, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java, or probably C#, and bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. I need 75% of the above, not counting the bonus points. The bonus points are... consider them like a dessert, is you need to have the main course, which is the rest of it, before you put in that. So if I only see the bonus points, that does not count. So, can I find what I need in 20 seconds, which is how long recruiters actually have to look at your resume. That's it. That's all we get. If we spend longer than that, we get laid off. Well, or fired, I should say. Laid off happens regardless. So, let's begin. Okay, UI is JavaScript good, React, HTML, CSS. I don't know about Luna, Figma, I don't care about, RESTful APIs, it's okay. Formatting's off. It's not bad. I actually think this might pass. There is something off about it. One is the formatting is a little off. So if you look, this is their formatting, and this is the formatting I want you to use. My understanding of this one is that the font is wrong, and it's not 1.5 spacing, which is what you want. So it looks like this, because this is easy to read. This is pretty difficult to read. Bullet point wise, it's again mid, and this is like just a mid resume. I imagine this is getting them 1 in maybe 70, 1 in 50, so it's probably on the edge. Because it does say some of the stuff I like. It says, built responsive UI using the stuff that I want. Although you did say HTML5 and not HTML, so they may not want to count that. And before people are up in arms in the comments, if JavaScript is different than Java, then HTML5 may be different than HTML. I don't know why you included Luna design system and Figma designs, as that seems sort of irrelevant. This is why I'm actually having an issue with this. There's something in the back of my mind, and it's I don't see the back end. This seems okay for most of it, but I don't really see the back end. I also don't see TypeScript, which could be replacing the back end language. So that actually might be the deal breaker, is primarily I don't really see the back end. So let me see what you wrote. Let's see. My main concern is my intern project was heavily focused on front end and not back end. There we go. How can I keep applying for full stack positions, considering my bullet points for internships more focused on front end? I think the rest of my projects are full stack, and it's all being mentioned there with the stack for JavaScript and TypeScript. I have not started applying with this version, so I don't know the ratio. Yeah, so where do I even see a back end? In fact, this is kind of the problem with it, is it's okay to have like an internship or a project down here that has more of the back end for entry level, but I don't actually see anything involving back end. TypeScript is good. Like I said, that could imply it, although I still would like another language. So yeah, I would say this resume is mid, right? Like that's, and in this market, that's not great, but it could be a lot worse. So what I'd like you to do is shrink this. Also, you can just say experience. It's fine. You don't need to say all of this, and you could put them all in the same one, and then you can just put project, because again, I don't need to know when your project was done. Although, here's a part that I would want to know is, when you graduate, you will need to say when you graduated. If you just graduated, you should put your year of graduation. If it's been about 3 years since you graduated or more, then put status graduated. But yeah, so let me think. Okay, so to fix this, what I would do to fix it and make it better is first, fix your formatting. It's close to this, but again, these look different. There's differences here. This is easy to read. This is difficult to read. Also, the format for that is on my website. Then I would stop trying to impress me. This is written like you're trying to impress me. And again, I'm not keyword hunting, right? Like what I'm looking for is keyword plus how you did it, plus the reason or result of you doing it. So those equal qualifications, which I am hunting for. So while you do have the right keywords, you are writing them in a way that is incomprehensible and not something I need. I don't need you to say improving usability for 8,000 users of an internal web application. That's not impressive. I don't care. I need you to say built a UI using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, React, Next.js for our internal web applications, right? Then you can say this, which is fine, although I would like you to combine these two. And then, yeah, this one can be agile with one other thing. So this should be 3 bullet points total, so that you could skip down to this where you actually use TypeScript, which is pretty critical. Although I do want to see another backend language, which I don't actually see. So again, this is a like C- resume. I think this could get you interviews, but there are a lot of changes you need to make it from like a 1 in 50 to a 1 in 10, 1 in 15, which is way better. So that's all I can do for this resume. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out. Share this video with your friends that need help. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a business analyst in Canada. I will fully disclose that I am a US-based recruiter, and sometimes these don't fully translate. I'd say like 90% of what I say translates across the seas, or not across the streets, to our neighbors up north and other places. So what we're looking for in a business analyst is SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Industry, Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Outlook, Excel, Word, Jira, SAP, requirements gathering and documentation, cross-functional from IC to stakeholders and managers, explaining complex topics to non-technical people, meet multiple deadlines concurrently, Agile, Scrum, Waterfall. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. And go. Okay. Analyze sales data using SQL and Excel. Okay, good. Through a Power BI dashboard and explaining how to use it. Perfect. Manage 4 cross-functional project managers using Agile, Scrum methodologies and Jira to track growth project. Yeah, good. For SAP finding MS Office. PowerPoints reports for managing to refine data strategies. Yeah. Is there anything I'm missing? I mean, this is probably a success. This is this person's, I think, second resume that they submitted. So, but yeah, this is pretty accurate with what I'd want. Is there anything I'm really missing? I don't think so. I mean, this would be a move forward. I think you may want to write this as a contract if it was a contract, because now we're dealing with stuff like years of experience a little bit. But otherwise, this is mostly fine. I think the formatting is off, though. No, I think it's fine. I think the margins are a little too wide. So you want to shrink it down a little bit, and it may go past 1 page, but that's okay. So let's man, there are actually some okay resumes. Usually the resumes that are here are not as good, but these are some okay resumes. I'm happy for it. So, hey Lee, this is the second version of my resume that I reviewed already. Haven't started applying yet, so I don't have an accurate ratio. I just want to perfect my resume before January starts. So yeah, January is the biggest job boom of the year. November, December are where no jobs ever happen, so your ratios don't count then. But in January, about the second week of January in the US till the end of March, that is the biggest job boom of the year, and that happens almost every single year. So that's why everybody's like, we're waiting for January. Do you think I should start applying right now or just wait? I think you should start applying just now. So despite what I just said, just because there are less jobs and there are less opportunities in November, December, and your ratio will be all out of whack, doesn't mean there's no jobs. And what actually does happen a lot is people will post jobs and then they'll go on vacation and then everybody will be sick, and then they'll actually relook at those roles that have survived in January. So you will be essentially ahead of the pack in January. So I still think you should apply, although if at any point you need a break for your mental health, this is the time for that. Please be extra harsh, and I think that after this review I can start applying. I mean, I don't think there's anything for me to be very harsh about. I think it's pretty solid. You tell me what you did, you don't brag. Something slightly off with the formatting, and I don't know if it's the margins, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, maybe it's just the margins are messing it up, which I'm not usually a stickler of, but this makes it easier to read. and you don't tell me where you are, and if the Canada is the same as the US, your location still matters. But from an actual content of this is good. I give this a thumbs up. These are good. So good job. Is there anything else that I need? I don't think so. Yeah, good. Happy. Next resume. This is a resume of a full stack Java developer. So what we need for a full stack Java developer is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, JS, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, Node. Why do I always have that twice? I need to change that. API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CSD, cross-functionally, and Java, Spring Boot, and I'm going to say microservices probably as well, specifically for Java. And bonus for that. So can we find it in 20 seconds? Let's go and do. Okay. Directed. Worked in Agile, developing RESTful APIs and microservices using Python. Okay, so here's a flaw. Planning feature to HTML, CSS, GraphQL. Okay, so right. This is. I don't think you should have this. This is too recent. If you've been at a job, I know if you've been at a job for less than 3 months, I would not include it on your resume. That is a big yellow flag to companies as they're saying, well, hold on, they just started. Why are they looking to leave? That is a giant yellow flag that immediately, flags you. Now you may be worrying that since you haven't had a job since September about the gap is fine. Don't worry about the gap. Gaps only become a problem after 2 years. A bigger issue is that this looks like job hopping. Why would you do that, right? You're immediately putting yourself on the back foot. So, delete that. Then we start down here. Created APIs and microservices, good. Using TDD, I don't know if that's needed. Java, good. Spring Boots. And MongoDB is good, and then the problem is I don't have the other HTML and CSS. So, opened up a wrong thing, and then this should be higher up. So yeah, let's read what you wrote, but there's some order. I don't usually try to get too picky on the order of the bullet points, but this is a bit of an issue with this one in particular. So this is my third iteration of my resume after watching your content. I'm currently full stack position in Brazil. This is not intended for the US, but I did my best to translate it from Portuguese. Okay. I hope my qualifications track, because again, sometimes they don't always go from the US to other places. I'm currently employed as a mid-level full stack that was hired with Java, but they relocated me to Python projects and said they won't relocate me to work with Java, but I want to work with Java, so I'm seeking a Java role. I got an interview for another day, but I haven't applied that much, maybe like 10. So, okay. It's not a bad, again, wow, these are some actually solid resumes in this one. 3 that are basically, 2 that have been mid, which is this one, after you fix the problems, and 1 that has been very good. We are now getting into sort of formatting where these things are. So I don't know if we need TDD or BigQuery. We might need MongoDB. The other thing is right down here, this should be higher up. This should be combined with your first sentence. In fact, I would say your first sentence should be built components or built APIs and microservices using Java, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and TypeScript. And then the rest of this stuff we can have in another bullet point. And I think if you delete this and you change that, you will have much higher success already, because you do have almost everything else besides cloud. I do see Google Cloud. I would say change that to Google Cloud Platform and then put it in parentheses GCP. So, but otherwise, this is okay. So, man, this might be a very short video. These are some solid resumes, and the changes you need to make are not going to take that long. That's really just like moving stuff around and changing 2 sentences, and you should be fine. So, but we do need to delete this. We absolutely need to delete this. This is a albatross across your neck. I don't know if that translates well, but so. Yeah, all you have to do, delete this, change up the order of these bullet points. The very first one should involve cloud, should involve Java, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and move them to other places down here along with SQL, and you should be good. Overall, pretty solid. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a mechanical design engineer. So what we need with a mechanical design engineer is going to change based on what you've done in the past. So first off, I need to know what industry and the type of field. So trains or aerospace or aeronauticals or ships. And I probably said the same thing twice. If you can tell, I've placed mechanical engineers before, but it was a while ago. Or medical devices, right? I need to know your overarching area you've been working in. Then I need to know the types of products you've been working on. So it would be like engines or thermal science or electrical sparky machines, right? You can ignore this was in one, that is old, you can ignore that. Then I will need to see SolidWorks, AutoCAD, or Pro E, find out element analysis, or FEA, or CFD. Do I need all of those? No, I need about 2 to 3 of those. And then I need to describe the products you've worked on in a simple manner, right? I don't want you to say, used a 12.89 voltage barometer to electrify our potato functions over every dirt lop, right? I need you to say, like, built an electrical system using common tools, and you tell me what those tools are, where it was designed to plug into a medical device as a defibrillator. Just something basic. Then I do need to know some of the common tools for this section of the industry. What that will be is going to, change if you're going to be based on electrical stuff versus aeronautics versus heart medication machines or something. So, can I find that in 20 seconds? Let's find out. Can't use anything here. Data gathering to traffic count, inspectors at work. Gathering for Excel, based on scissor lift operators is actually not bad. So, yeah, it's not bad. It's not the worst. The problem is I kind of know what you're doing, but I don't see any CAD or anything. But I will say this. Oh, there's an entirely blank piece of paper. That's fine. But yeah, I need more, right? I need you to make your resume look like this. I need you to add what you did here. Like, I get that you did data gathering. I don't understand what completed inspections of contractor work are relevant. I don't know why that's relevant. This is nice. This is okay. But, like, it doesn't sound like you were an engineer. It sounds like you were a data collector. This is closer how I want you to write it, which was designed and prototyped a pneumatically powered mechanism based off of a scissor lift used by operators to vertically transfer and heavy windows on assembly line. That's actually a perfect way to describe it, so that's good. Then drafted a working SolidWorks assembly. Again, you want to fix the formatting, but that is what I want. So yeah, this is what I want. I want you to write the rest of it like that. And I need you to tell me how you use these, because these don't count. So again, is this the worst resume ever? No, I think this is okay. The fact that this is a mechanical engineer one and there are not a ton of y'all out there, well, you stand a better chance than, say, a software engineer. So they actually, instead of getting 20 seconds, could probably get 30 to 40. And if they find this, they will probably move you forward. But they have to find that first. So fix your formatting, write the rest of this like you wrote this, and give me some actual details I can use. But yeah, let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. They actually said data scientist or data analyst, but you cannot do both. You absolutely 100% need to pick one. A data analyst and a data scientist are different jobs. And if you pick a different job title that you tailor your resume to, you're going to get rejected. So how you should do it is find about 15 jobs with the same titles and qualifications. Use those as an aggregate to extract the keywords they're looking for and build your resume around those. That is how you do it. And having done that before for data analyst and data scientist and business analyst, they are different roles. They require different things. So what we need for a data analyst is degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. And this is probably the absolute biggest one, how you solved a problem with the data, not what the data is. Almost every single data analyst says, I'm using the Imperium method of Psycher XYZ to expedite my data so that I could find it every Neil deGrasse Tyson's scheduling system, which is a 12% increase. I don't care. I care what you've done with the data. I don't care if you rolled a 20-sided die and you're like, it works. As long as it works, it works. I need to know what you did with the data, how the data was necessary to the company, not necessarily how you got the data. I do, though, need to see that you've used my MS Excel, so macros, pivot tables, and VLOOKUP. Along with Python R, you've done multiple projects and deadlines, and a bonus for cloud, so can I find it in 20 seconds? And, oh man, do not make your resume look like this. This hurts my eyes to read. This is bad formatting, and it is really difficult when you've been reading resumes all day. My eyes are already bouncing around, and I barely looked at it. So formatting-wise, this is one of the worst. And go. All right. Looker is something that we can use, but I don't know why this was important, so I don't care. ML is nice. That one's okay. Reducing redundant reports by 40%. Yeah, I don't care about that. Script macros, that's fine. Again, that's not something I care about. Yeah, so again, you're trying to impress me. I can tell when a candidate is trying to impress me with their resume, and every single time it's a bad resume. You need to not impress the people. You want to make sure you write what you've done, how you've done it, and the reason and result of you doing it, because I don't care about 500% employees. I don't care about consistent downtimes, and I don't care about 40% or 15 hours a week. What I need to see is, used Google Sheets, which counts as MS Office macros, to create data visualization in Looker for our stakeholders so that they can understand the data in front of them of our X project. And then I want to see is also, you said, met with stakeholders weekly to explain what the numbers meant and keep them up to date on technical concepts. This resume doesn't have any of that. So, what did this person write? Let's find out. Maybe that will change it. Probably not, which, but still. I just recently got an internship. They say they would definitely consider me, but I want to start looking at other options just in case. That's good. Always have a backup plan. You should always have a backup plan. Want to know if my resume holds up to my skills. No, it's really bad. You're trying to impress me, and any single time somebody tries to impress me, they're going to fail. Like, not that I have some crazy high standards, bro. You're trying to impress a snail. A snail is not going to care that you've done reduced turnaround and improved accuracy. I just need to know that you've done X and used it and the reason or result of doing it. So I need you to go back to the drawing board and first off, really fix this formatting. I cannot tell you how painful this is to look at. I don't know if it's going to translate through YouTube, but the words are dancing around. So make it look like this. Easy to read. This is a nightmare. And then when you start making your bullet points, you need to stop trying to impress me. I need you to be very clear about what you have done, how you have done it, and the reason or result you've done it. And you need to act like you're describing it to a toddler. That's not a joke. The people reading your resume don't have time to understand this stuff. We have 20 seconds. That's it. So I hope this has at least been valuable to everybody. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Hit that bell, which is subscribe. And if you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter so that I can help you out a little bit more than just a YouTube video like interview tips. So I will see you all in the next video, and thank you for watching.